In this session, we are going to discuss about the Python's loops, right? So I'll be briefing about the introduction to the looping statements. Okay, so while loop, what's its a function, general format, concept, how it is implemented in the programming language, and a few examples. Okay. In fact, we have four looping statements: while, for, break, and continue. We discuss one by one in our later discussions, right? In a later session, so we'll have the concept, definitions, general format, and the instructions to be followed while using the loop, and what are its advantages and disadvantages and its applications, right? So in this session, I am going to introduce the while loop, right? In Python, a loop, while loop especially is defined, okay, with a syntax, a format, which has been projected in the slide. Okay, so have a look. It is almost similar to the if loop, right? So while loop is defined as while, which is nothing but the keyword, followed by conditional expressions, okay, conditional expressions, colon, and we have a instruction body. Okay, instruction body. If we compare while with if we compare the while loop with if instruction, we may notice that the syntactic difference is only one. Remember, the syntax difference is only one. That is, we use the word while instead of the word if. Okay, so in the if structure starts with the keyword if followed by the expression colon and the if block with the indented instructions. Similarly, the syntax difference is only one. We use the word while instead of the word if, but we have a different semantic. The semantic difference is more important than the syntactic. When the condition is met, it performs its statement only once. In case of if statement, if the condition is true, we have the true block. Okay, the simple if will show the output only if the condition is met, satisfied. The condition is not met, then we require else block. Similarly, we have nested if, elif ladder, and so on. Okay, so the semantic difference is more important. In the if structure, if the condition is met, it performs its statement only once. Whereas while loop repeats the execution as long as the condition evaluates to true. You got it? The if condition, if performs its statements, execution of the statements only once, whereas this while loop will repeat the execution. How long? As long as the condition evaluates to true. As long as the expression is true, the indented block will be executed repeatedly. Whereas if will execute, the if statement will execute the if block only once in case if it is true, right? If we want to execute more than one statement inside one while, then we must indent all the instructions in the same way as like instruction 1 to up to instruction n. Okay, so you might have noticed it is mentioned as instruction. What is an instruction? An instruction is a statement or a set of statements, okay, valid statements, instructions, we can say code, right, that executed inside the while loop is called the loop's body. Okay, a set of instructions or a code or a statement which is executed inside the while loop, okay, in the indented block, right? How it works? If the condition is false, which means equal to 0, as early as when it is tested for the first time, the body will not be executed even once. Remember, I said the while performs repeated execution as long as the condition is true. If the condition is true, the indented block will be executed repeatedly. In case if it is false, the condition is failed, then the body will not be executed even once. So we need not to check. So the time, execution time, the run time, okay, or the big O notation will be saved. So the body should be able to change the conditions value, because if the condition is true at the beginning, and the body might get run continuously to infinitive. Okay, so notice that doing a thing usually decreases the number of things to do. Okay, so while repeats the execution as long as the expression is true. In case of the expression is false, the complete indented block will not be executed even once. But whereas if at least once it will be done. Okay, is it clear? Any doubts? When we compare while with if, we may notice there are no syntax difference, format difference. Here all we replace if with while, but semantic difference is more important. If performs at least once execution, whereas while repeatedly executes as long as the condition is true. If in case of the condition is false, the complete block will be ignored. Okay, not even once they will be executed. Okay, if you like to perform the repeated actions, if you want to check more options, choices, then the loop structure will be effective. Kindly note there is a difference between if and while. If executes only once. Okay, every condition needs to be checked only once. For example, to check the largest of three numbers, we input one value, second value, third value, and when we enter, only the largest will be selected, picked, and it will be displayed. If you want to check the second choice, again we have to run the program. Okay, so the three if statements run thrice, whereas while in single execution we can repeat as long as the condition is true. Fine. Let us check an example for the better understanding. I'll move on. I'll take you to the PyCharm editor. Let me start with a simple program by using if structure to clarify or to make you understand how the if statement and while loop differs. Enter a number. Okay, so n is a variable. Accepts assigned to a variable, assigned a input of integer kind. If n is greater than 0, n is supposed to be a small lowercase. If n is if, the expression finally we have a colon, and pressing enter will take you automatically with the indentation blank, right? I mean a tab space. Print n is a positive number. Okay. Elif. Let me check elif statement. I'm using elif. Is less than 0. Again condition. Hence we have okay. So there was a mistake in the previous statement, a comma, right? So while typing, mistakes will be highlighted by rend underline. So we need not to wait until the execution to learn and understand the mistakes, right? So print, in this case, if n is less than 0, then n is a negative number. N is a negative number. Okay. Next, the last condition, if n is equal to 0, or the last condition, there is only one choice. We can skip the statement. It is an optional because we know that the last condition is by default n is equal to 0. Either we can include or we can skip the conditions. Okay, it is 0, right? So this is the program by using to find, to check whether the input is a positive number, negative number or 0. So we had used elif ladder because we have three options. So I prefer elif. You can have else also, right? Cascaded. I have used cascaded elif conditions. Fine. Let us run the program. Hope you have understood. A variable n is defined of integer type, right? According to the input value, we check whether it's a positive, negative, or it could be 0. These are the three possible choices, okay, of a nature of a variable, right? Run the program. Let us check. Right. So enter a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So the output is simple. Expected is a positive number. Is it clear? So once the output is displayed, okay, have you noticed the message process finished? The execution is completed, isn't it? The execution has been over with the exit code executed is. If you like to check the second, only one option we have checked, positive number. If you like to check again, we have to run. We are running it second time to check the other options, right? 567. It is a minus 567 at negative value because minus 567 is less than 0 and hence it's a negative number. So we had executed second time to check the next option. All right. So again third time run the program to make the last option. So else if n is equal to 0, it is 0. So the number of executions depends upon the number of options. If the first option, if the second option, else the third option. We have executed thrice to check all the options. Okay, so hope you have understood. Notice how much time we spent. Okay, so when we have more options, that many number of executions to be done repeatedly. So the if performs its statements checking only once and results according to the input. If you like to have the other options, we need to repeat. We have to run again. Okay, so this is the nature of the if statement. Now, I said the while. Let me go through the while with the same logic. Right? N is equal to, let us check the same program by using int input, enter a number. Okay, so now I am trying to check the same program to find positive, negative or 0 by using while n is not equal to minus 999. So while the expression, the condition colon at the end, press enter, and the following statements should appear in the indented block. Now we have to check n. If n is greater than 0, okay, colon, print n, it is a positive number, right? Okay, the next condition, if n is less than 0, print n, it is a negative number, right? The third condition, else. By default, we have only one option. So let us make it print. Okay, so the third option is 0. It is 0. Right. Okay. Fine. So as we need to continue or not, right? So I said the while statement repeats the execution as long as the condition evaluates to be true. So we have the option to check whether true. So input enter a next value or as we had the expression to be met. As long as the expression is met, we need to enter. The conditional expression is triple minus 999. It could be any valid value. Okay, got it? To exit, right? Okay, which may appear in the new line character. Fine. Is it clear? So the same if we have accommodated inside the while loop, our purpose is to repeat the execution as long as the condition is true, right? Let us run the program. Run, enter a number, the same output 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So it is a positive number. Now enter a value or minus 999 to exit. Have you noticed in the earlier case, as soon as the first execution is over, the process is completed, ended. Okay, so to check the next condition, we need to again execute. But here, the process has not been ended. The process is not over. It is still in the execution mode. The programming is still in the execution mode. Now we have got the option, enter a next value. As long as the expression evaluates to true, that is, as long as we enter, okay, non minus 999 value, it will keep on running. The execution is continued. Now let us check the second option. Minus 567 is a negative number. Fine. And the third option is enter a next value or minus 999 to exit. So then I had entered 0. It is a 0. Fine. Is it clear? Now as I have checked all the conditions, the program is working as and with the expected output. There are no issues. Now completed options are checked. Now I would like to leave. So the conditional value minus 999, the process finished with the exit code. Fine. So we have not executed second time, third time or number of times. So all happened in single execution, but we are checking the conditions. So while repeats the execution, okay, while continues in the execution and as long as that it is true. Is it clear? So now which could be a better? Hope you have understood the difference between if and while, right? So if the difference is in the syntactic. So if performs the statements only once and while repeats the execution as long as the condition evaluates to be true. Is it clear? Any doubts in the while? Okay, so we should be very careful. Okay, so while loop will repeat the execution and we should remember the conditions, right? In case if the condition is outside the, have you noticed the while? Okay, all the statements have appeared. The instructions executed inside the while loop is called loop body. Right, so the statements has appeared inside the while loop with the indented space. In case by mistake, if we make the statement outside the if loop, okay, now the condition statement has appeared outside the indented block, which means it's a separate statement, not a part of the while loop. Now what will happen? Any guess? Now I had removed the indented space and took the statement outside the while block. Okay, so now the condition expressions, the checking value has been removed from the while block and appeared as a separate statement, independent statement. On when we execute this, on execution, what will happen to the program? Will it be error? Will it be getting the output? Or what will be your guess? Yes? Can you please post your observation in the chat window? I'm waiting for your response. I have removed the statement conditional check. I have removed from the indented while block and made as a separate statement in the program. Okay, yes. While loop will become an infinite. It will run separately. Yes, correct. So when we run the program, I'll try to run the program again. Let us check the nature. Enter a number. Obviously, because the first statement is n is equal to input, enter a number. There's nothing wrong, right? Enter a number. Let us have the same input. And when it enter, it has been stuck in an infinite loop. So we have got the output, right? The output is correct because 1, 2, 3, 4 is greater than 0 and it is a positive number. But the condition checking has not been completed. Okay, so it will run as long as the value, even though it is used for repeated executions, at one point of time, any begin must have an end, right? So, but we have removed the last instruction from the indented block and made it a separate statement. So the while loop have not received the instruction to logically terminate it, logically stop the process. So as a result, it has entered into an infinite loop because of the discontinuity, right? So now it is clearly visible to you all. It is running indefinitely, infinite loop. How to stop the process? How will you stop it? It is running indefinitely. It has trapped into a infinite loop. Now we need to stop the process, right? We need to move forward. How to stop? So have you noticed there is a red square to stop the process? A red square at the left, the lower part of the screen. Stop the program name, the file name. By clicking the red square, it is stopped. Okay, so which is nothing but the keyboard interrupt. Since it is running infinitely, I have to interrupt to stop the process. Right now it is stopped. Of course, the output is correct, but the indented, the last statement, while loop has started and it should be stopped logically, but the statement which is used to stop the process has appeared outside the indented block. As a result, the execution has entered into a infinite loop and it is running continuously. So we have to interrupt the process with the help of the keyboard. So the option square has been clicked and its color has changed. Fine. So it has been in infinite loop and we don't want to have it projected, and it could be removed by selecting the clear all options. Click the clear all option will remove all the latest output. Fine, right? So this is the method of while and for loop. Hope you have understood. So a set of instructions executed inside the while loop is called loop body, and it is important. In case my mistake, if the instruction or more instructions have been not in the while loop indented body, then it will fall into an infinite loop. Okay. So in case if the condition is failed, the complete statement will not be executed even once. Is it clear? Okay. I checked one program, input n and print whether it's a positive, negative or 0 by using the while loop. Let us check another program to find the largest of n numbers using while loop. Okay, largest of n numbers. For the better understanding, I'll explain one more program using while loop to find the largest of n numbers. So n is equal to first input n as an integer kind of value. So input int of input, enter the first value, because we would like to check the largest of n values. So first we start with the first value. Okay, and next statement is to check while n is not equal to the condition expression minus 999. Okay, so it's for my understanding. You can have any value while n is not equal to is a single operator. If you leave a blank, it will throw an error. Okay, so the exclamatory mark and the assignment operator should be combined, right? It should not be separated. While n is not equal to a value, the condition, right? If n is greater than max, check the first value and max is equal to n, right? Fine. So the first value has been assigned, right? Next, we will like to take the second value, right? N is equal to int of input, enter next value, or end of the process minus 999 to exit, right? Okay, fine. So this ends. Now at the end we need to find the largest value. Print largest number is, right? That is max. Fine. So by using the while loop, we are repeatedly taking the values. While n is not equal to 999, it will like first value, then that value is assigned as a max. Take the second value, compare, the greater value will be assigned to max. Take the third value. So as long as 999 is entered, we will be asked to enter a number of inputs. First input, then we will be asked to enter the second input, the third input, fourth input, fifth input. Okay. Finally, once we have the enough input, then we stop the process by entering minus 999 conditional expression. Okay. And out of all the values, it will compare, and the largest number will be displayed as max. Right. So there are no issues, there are no mistakes, and all the statements are correct. Hope we get the output. Any observations from your side? We define a variable, okay, and taking the input. As long as the input is 999, it will take all the input, compares with the previous value. Every time it is compared, and the maximum is assigned to another variable max. Finally, it is displayed. Okay, so by looking at the statement, what is your observation? Any observation from your side? There are no mistakes. Yes, exactly right. Okay, as Errol De Silva has pointed out, yes, I was expecting. See, we had defined a variable n and then another variable. So n is equal to integer. Okay, input type, right? And next, if n is greater than max, this, in fact, as I said, Python is a infer language, data type infer language. So declaration is not required, but it needs to be defined, because based on the value that it will automatically consider its data type, but we need to define it. Okay, so n is an integer, and if n is greater than max, what is max? We have not supplied the value, we have not defined it. Max could be an integer or float or any, but there should be a value supplied it, because since n is integer, n is equal to int of input, n is an integer, and hence max is also expected to be an integer value or float value. So that needs to be defined. Okay, in case if we try to execute with the same logic, let me run the program, enter the first value, because absolutely there are no mistakes, it will run fine, it will be executed. 1 2 for simple value. Have you noticed the type error? Greater than does not support between the instances of int and built-in function or method. N is defined as int, but max, n is greater than max. What is max? It is an integer or float or character or string. We have no idea. So this max needs to be defined, is initialized to 0. We have no idea of max. Okay, so we always start with a supplying value to the n. So n is greater than max. Okay, so an integer which is greater than max, which is assumed to be a 0, a null value. Okay, when n is greater than max, max is equal to n. So any value higher than the max will be again reassigned to max. With this reference, the second value is compared, then third value is compared, the fourth value is compared. So as long as this while loop repeats till -99 is entered, and then we have the maximum value. Now let us run the program. Enter the value 1 2 3 4, right? Enter the next value or -99 to exit. So we have given only one input. Okay, if you want to stop the process, just type 999. Since we have entered only one input, obviously that will be the largest number, because we don't have other values to compare. Okay, if a list has only one value, that will be the largest, smallest, and all kind, right? When we enter -99, the process finished, and the only one value will be the largest by default, right? Now let us check with the other options. Enter the same value 1 2 3 4. Now I'd like to compare with the other value, right? 5 6 7 8, next value, right? Okay, let us have a 0. The third input is 0 and the fourth input is minus 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. So we have given entered 4 input 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 0 and minus 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Enter. So we want to stop the process. We have 4 input, that will be enough. We would like to find the largest of the given 4 input. So the conditional expression value minus 999 to stop the process. So out of the 4 value, the largest has been compared and it is displayed 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 is compared with 5, 6, 7, 8 and it is assigned to the variable max. The next value is 0. Again 5, 6, 7, 8 remains the max. Minus 4, 5, 6, 7, it max remains the same. Okay, so every time a new input is compared with the latest max variable and accordingly it will change or remain. Fine. If you like to compare, if we like to find the largest of 4 variables by using if condition, what we have to do, we have to make if, else if, else if, else if, else statement. And at a time we can check only one value. Right? It's a laborious process. Whereas while in single execution, we can have multiple options checked. So that is the advantage of having looping structures. And another problem, at the same time, while has an demerit also. In case if the statements are not properly indented, it will get into infinite loop. Okay, so to check the execution termination, that should be taken care. Otherwise, while will be the effective, more efficient than the if conditions. If you like to repeat a process again and again, so the execution time, the number of statements will be less time we get the output. Is it clear? Any doubts? Hope you have understood the concept of while condition. Any doubts? Any doubts? Any queries from your side? Okay, fine. This is a case study. I would like to explain a scenario. Can you go through this statement? A junior magician has picked a secret number. He has hidden it in a variable named secret number. He wants everyone who runs his program to play guess the secret number game. Guess the secret number game. And guess what number he has picked for them. Those who don't guess the number will stuck in the loop forever. If they correctly guess, then it is fine, they can leave. Okay, otherwise they'll be asked to repeat the process. Unfortunately, he does not know how to complete the code. Your task is to help the magician to complete the code in the editor in such a way so that when the program is executed, it asks the user to enter an integer number 0 to 10. Got it? It checks whether the number chosen by the user is equal with the number picked decided by the magician. If it is different, then the user will see the message, no, that is not the number, try again. and the user will be asked to choose another number. So he has already decided a number, and he asked the person to choose a number. As long as it's correct, I mean it is different, he has to repeat the process. If it is matches, well then he will be appreciated. Otherwise, he'll be asked to choose it. So now how we can help him? We have to write a Python code snippet. Okay, so to apply, to execute, to perform this action. This is a kind of case studies will be, you can find many more in the online, so which will be interesting. You will be with your knowledge and programming skills, you can develop your the code. Okay, so programming is not just finding a greatest of the given numbers, to find the quadratic equations, or to calculate, to convert a degree to Fahrenheit. No, they are very basics, fundamentals. Okay, so they introduce the concept like variables, data types, conditions, structures, keywords, and later it is up to your interest, okay, to develop and enhance the programming skills. So by having such case studies, then your knowledge will be broadened. Okay, so you will think and try to implement all the possibilities, and finally you will get a solutions. Right? Now how we'll do it? In fact, the statement is very big, okay, but the solution could be very, very simple. So for more understanding, I have highlighted the important thing. So what you need, pick a secret number. So the highlighted part are the important thing. Okay, so once you understand the problem, again we need not to go through it. In a variable, pick a secret number. So that is already decided. Guess the secret number. So we can define what is the secret number. Got it? Then an input statement to accept a secret number from the user. It asks enter the integer number to range between 0 to 10. So the secret number is compared with the user input. If it is matching, fine. Otherwise, that is not the number. You have to choose again. Okay, if it is matching, you will be appreciated. Well done. Otherwise, it is not that number, and try again to choose the another number. So that is the problem. Yes, I have already received a few responses. Thank you. Correct. Good. Yes. Let me take the logic. Yes, magic. Already I have done it. So the fixed number by the magician, for example, it is 8. Right? User's input, enter the number. While the user number is not equal to the secret number, you have to repeat the process. Enter another number. Because that is not the one decided, fixed, okay, reserved for the user. Okay. So once the condition expression matches, we have got the appreciation message. Well done. This is the number chosen for you, and you can leave. As long as there is some not matching, you have to repeat the process. You may have noticed a lengthy description. The case study is a one-page description, but the solution is very simple. Okay, it is already decided by the magician secret number. It could be any number. All you need to pick. As long as it is matching with that condition, you have to repeat. If it is perfect, then well done, that is the number you have chosen or fixed, reserved for you. Let us run the program and check. Run the program. Welcome to my game. Guess what number I have picked. Enter an integer. So the user enters 1. No, that is not the number. So try again. because it is already fixed as 8 by the magician. Let me check with the second number 2. No, again you have to try 3, try 4, try 5, try. How long you will try? How many numbers you have to enter? We have no idea, right? So it could be further simplified as enter 0 to 10, because even that a game should be interesting, but it's at the same time should not be boring also, right? So we have modified the program and run it again, right? So enter a number in between 0 to 10. 0 to 10, we have only limited and small options, a short time. Let us take 5. That is not the number. Okay, so 8. Yes, that is the number chosen for you. So the number of options, choices could be limited. We need not to continue. Okay, at one point of time, the user will get fed up. Oh no, I don't want to continue. I'm leaving. Any game is supposed to be like interesting, right? If it is short and there should be some curiousness among the users also, right? Right. So this is a simple logic, and this is not the only the solution. You can apply your programming skills and knowledge, and you can have in better format also. Okay, so this program has a solution by using while loop, right? You can also have the same logic implemented in if conditions, for loop, or any other method. Even without looping structures or conditional structures also, you can write a program, absolutely no doubt. So yeah, there are number of ways, number of methods to implement a work. And finally, it should be optimum, the optimal solution. Which logic gives the effective, efficient, and optimal solution? That is important, right? A solution is supposed to be the minimum number of codes, okay? LOC, lines of codes. The more the codes, it takes more time. Okay? So more execution time will make us to wait, right? So it cannot be an effective and efficient one. Okay. So with this, a few examples. Okay, this algorithm define a secret number, input the number. While the number is matching, we have to input, enter another number. Once it is matching, then that will be displayed. Okay. So hope, yeah, one page of description has been optimized into just 4 steps. So we should have the knack of understanding the problem and making it simpler, right? So that's all from my side. Hope you have understood about the while loop. Fine, and stop the process.